we're writing down, where are you most vulnerable? What are you holding on the tightest to? And what steps can you take to release it? This is going to post probably weeks after the fact, but many of you do know that I've been going through some health stuff. Ovarian cysts, I have to have surgery. I spent a couple of days in the ER. I've been in a lot of pain on and off, and sometimes prolonged amount of pain. And I, embarrassingly enough, haven't always dealt with it well. There was one day when I was in the ER, I was so angry. I was missing all the first day stuff for my kids, and I was in pain, and they weren't moving fast, and I was just so angry at my body, just angry that this was happening, and there was no reason why. And I can't take full credit for these prompts because I was listening to a sermon from Stephen Furtick, whom I love, from Elevation Church, and one of his sermons was about the enemy will hit you where what you hold tightest to. The enemy will come after those things that you hold tightest to. And it's interesting because in my life, I always thought it was money. I don't know what happened when I was a child. I had a good childhood, but I come from a scarcity mentality. So I'm always afraid that we're going to lose everything and I'm not going to be able to provide for my family. So money has always been something that I feel like I've always worked on letting go of and giving it to God. And being a missionary and giving everything away and doing that was a great part of that, and it's taught me a lot. But when I was listening to that sermon, I realized one of the things that I hold tightest, other than money and my family, my kids, I think that's the biggest one, is my health and my body. I mean, it's a big identifier for me. It's how I make a living. It is something that is very important to me ever since my mother got sick. And listening to that, I realized that the enemy was hitting me in one of those places that I was holding tightest to. I don't know if I was or am, because I'm going through it right now, giving my body over completely to the Lord. I'm trying to fix it. I was laying there in the ER for 7 hours, just angry, trying to rush them, trying to fix it. I wasn't just completely surrendering to the Lord. And listen, I have to give myself grace. You have to give yourself grace. Health stuff is tough. I have a friend who, through all of this, has been telling me that I'm going through all of this health stuff, and I'm learning all I can know about ovarian cysts and causes and everything to help you all, because this is what I do. Faith and wellness are my two biggest things, and the Lord is using me in this to help you. And she's like, keep learning while you're laying there. Just learn and give it to the Lord. So I have to give myself grace, because I truly believe that the Lord is using me in this time of my pain. But I also truly believe that the enemy is attacking me in one of the places that I am holding the tightest and what I'm the most vulnerable. So I want you to think of where that is for you. And it might be money, it might be your family, it might be your body. There's a million different, it could be your car, it could be your house, it could be your job. Dig deep. And I think that you probably know right away, and there might be more than one. So where are you most vulnerable? What are you holding on the tightest to? For the longest time for me, it was income, job status. I've really released those a lot, and I've given that over to the Lord. And now the enemy, because I am a huge cheerleader for the Lord, and I have a huge space out front for him, and so do you, friend. If you're watching that and you share this, if you're watching this and you share this, you have a huge spot out front, and the enemy's going to come after you. He's coming after me in a different place, since I've already given that over to the Lord, and he's coming after my health and my body, and he's not going to win. But I have to surrender it, and I have to give it over. So it's not a stronghold for the enemy. So where are you most vulnerable? What are you holding on tightest to? And then let's take some steps on how we can release it. So for me, meditation, prayer, working on surrendering. I believe in being able to surrender disease. I believe in being able to surrender pain. But honestly, it has started with my schedule. It has started with me going through, and even though I've been pretty good about being very not rushing and not overscheduling, I need to get rid of more. I need to have more stillness. I need to slow down because this whole thing that's happening is slowing me down. So I need to cancel appointments. I need to call in sick to work when I have to call in sick, which is something that I just don't do and I hate doing and I feel so disgusting doing it. But I need to do those things. I need to say no to the third, sports team for my daughter. I need to postpone things. So I need to go after my schedule. These are how I can release this stronghold and let go so that I can be still. So where are you vulnerable? What are you holding on tight to? And what are the steps you can take to release it? Let's journal those right now and start making sure that the enemy doesn't have a place to attack you. He's going to try, but let's try and get ahead of that. God bless.